here, I'm making sure not to break the vertical. What I mean by that is I have this imaginary vertical line behind my body. I'm not breaking through it and actually leaning backwards through it because I'm taking away a lot of the work of the biceps in order to do that, and I'm now at this point simply just heaving the weight. You've got to be able to stop that momentum at vertical and let the biceps do the work. And from there, of course, slowly, if we want to continue to progressively overload the exercise. But more importantly here, this exercise trains ourselves to utilize the biceps to not just pull ourselves up to the bar, but also to control that descent. It's another eccentrically overloaded exercise. As I get closer to the bar, towards the top of the exercise, you can see the engagement here of the biceps. And as I go down, I can actually lean back just a little bit to accentuate that stretch to once again make sure going to provide benefits that are different and unique to this exercise that weren't provided from the first two, even though I love those first two exercises. What we're going to do here is we're going to be able to hit the brachialis more effectively because of the positioning of the dumbbell during this exercise. The pronated grip here during the exercise is going to allow us to take away one of the functions that the biceps provides, which is supination of that forearm. And by doing so, we're still getting the elbow flexion component of any curl, and that's going to be driven more effectively, especially if done at slower speeds, by the brachialis. And there's no reason to avoid brachialis development if you want to build your overall dramatically. It starts out pretty easy because there's very little tension on the band, and it continues to ramp up as we go all the way up to the top. It gets to its most tension because the band is stretched to its greatest length. So if we can overlap the two, we can fill in the gaps. We don't have to have that leveling out and drop off in the middle. We can continue to keep that going because the band will provide that for us, and that's exactly what we're doing here. So again, when you want to say that we're limited to just a couple exercises, how are you filling in the gaps of this? Take it to the next level by applying a deeper stretch. And you can do that by simply pronating the forearms at the bottom of the curl. Now remember, the incline setup itself is going to take your arm and put it back behind your body into extension. And if we realize the full capability of the bicep is not just to supinate and flex the elbow here, but to also flex the shoulder, then taking that shoulder down into extension is something that we want to do. And adding the additional pronation takes care of that second component as well. The third thing we can do here is we can actually consciously contract the triceps. And I've shared this tip before. When we do that, we're going to get a reflexive relaxation of the biceps that's going to enhance that stretch even further. You perform your curls out of here with the main focus being, I want to actually freeze the dumbbell up to travel more freely to the top without the legs getting in the way and not having to compromise the benefit that the exercise provides in the first place, which is that overload in that peak contracted state. Again, worth the wait here, guys, and another reason why you need to sort of look beyond just two exercises when you're trying to figure out what exercise to use for your biceps, because they all serve a purpose.